Okay, how's everybody doing today? Just thought I'd show you some updates to the mountain bike touring conversion. I got my neoprene seat cover on, but it ripped. You can see the neoprene's ripped up there, and I couldn't get the nose all the way onto the seat because the seat just got thick too quickly. I even turned it inside out, and you put the nose on, and then you try to turn it back right side out as you're putting it on, because I had to do that a few times. It still didn't work, and it tore here. So I don't think it's going to handle many or any more on and off mountings. So the good news is the sit bones are still covered with some good neoprene. So that made a drastic improvement. I switched to the second level elastomer on the Cane Creek post. The third one didn't seem like it was moving much, even though technically in my weight class I just squeaked into the level 4 one of firmness. 3 didn't seem like it was moving much. They said 50 millimeters of travel, which is almost 2 inches. It is 25.4 millimeters in an inch. But in reality, it's maybe only moving like that much. So I think that's mechanical excursion when there is no elastomer in it. So I put the level 2 in, and again, I'm 206 pounds, so I'm over the weight of that. That's like for 100 pound to 150 pound riders, something like that. But it finally squishes some. So between that and I don't find it too bouncy either. I thought the softer one, I would feel like I was bouncing around on the flats when I'm trying to pedal, but I don't. So I'm sticking with the number 2 for a while, at least until I get a little bit fitter and get used to pedaling and really want to maximize the pedaling efficiency. But between that and the seat cover, it is making a big difference for me. At the same time, I switched to the higher pressure smooth tires, which took away some of the squish. So this is offsetting it, and I still think this is better than just the tire that I had before in the old seat and seat post setup. But the tires are going good. We did a 43 miler on Sunday. Got the Bontrager H2 comps on there, wire bead, 600 grams. There's about 85 miles on the tires, and it still hasn't worn off the molding mark even. So I think this is going to be a long wearing tire. It's reasonably, let's say, comfortable because it's kind of a pliable casing. I know that some of the tires in this size, this is 700 by 38 because it's a 29er, and 729 are the same diameter. So you got a lot of tire choices with the 29. It's a reasonably pliable case because it doesn't have all the extensive aramid plies and puncture protection in it. It may have one ply under the tread, but the sidewalls aren't armored like the other tires from Bontrager, like the hard case or the hard case ultimate. Now, the hard case ultimate's almost 200 grams heavier, and I think it's like 140, 150 grams heavier, so more than a quarter pound heavier. It's got the reflective sidewall, and then it's got all the puncture protection, but you get the same tread pattern as these, also in 38 millimeter. So if you were going to go across the country or do some tours, that's probably the tire to get. For me, around town, I'm also running tubed here, so there's inner tubes in them. I got a patch kit in my bag, and I mounted my pump to the frame. So I got tire levers in there, so I'm kind of covered. I don't think this tire is actually tubeless ready anyway. I do have some more tire options that to try out. Because these are a lot thinner, these things go up to 80 psi or 85. I was running them at about 70, 75, and after a long ride, the back does start to feel it. So at the expense of a little bit of speed and efficiency, I think, maybe not, but at least weight anyway, I picked up some of the 2.1 inch thick slicks. So this is quite a bit larger tire. It'll give me the tire volume back, but lose the tread, so it won't be like one of those wind trainers as I'm pedaling, you know, that that you hear on the road with knobby tires. So I'm going to try those puppies out. Those were on a really good sale, but they call them thick slicks because they have such thick tread under here. These are not the puncture layer one, the additional puncture proof, but the tread, the rubber is so thick and there's no tread for something sharp to get stuck in. So I'm hoping that these are pretty good. Most people report that they're pretty good. Another tire I also picked up is from the V Tire Company. It's the Speedster. These come on the Bomb Track Arise touring bike. This is a dedicated touring bike, and you can outfit it out to over $6,000. Looks really serious, from Germany, and that's what it gets stock. So this is a dual rubber compound. It's got the harder compound in the center and then softer on the sides. It's a folding tire, so the Kevlar bead is a lot lighter than a wire bead. And so you save some weight there. So these are actually 545 grams, so 50 grams lighter, about 55, than the H2 comps. But these have tread protection in them, and they feel like they have a nice thick tread on them. So, and they're e-bike ready, and they're tubeless ready. And they're 2 millimeters bigger in diameter. So more cushion, hopefully, than those. More rubber to the road, so you got a bigger contact patch. And puncture resistance, and tubeless all at the same time. So what tubeless allows you to do is you can mount it to the rim, run it without a tube. You squirt a little bit of sealant in there. Pop the tire onto the rim with a compressor, and then you can run lower tire pressures, and you save the weight of the inner tube, which is another quarter to half of a pound. So it'd be a light, lively tire. It can also be more comfortable, and then it's got a sealant. So if there's any small holes, the sealant will just fill those, and you won't ever know you even had a pinhole in the tire. That's the idea anyway. I'm not sure how, like for hard touring use, if you were crossing the country, let's say, or you're packing up and you're going for hundreds of miles, if that's the best way to go, or to run tubed, just because tube is an easier fix on the road. I am not quite sure, but the rims, this is a 2019 Excalibur 8 from Trek. It did not say tubeless ready, but I had the guys at the bike shop look it up, and they say this rim is tubeless capable. So I can put these on there and run tubeless when I decide to get serious. In the meantime, I'm going to play with these fat guys here and what I have on the bike. I also picked up a little light setup here. So I rode at night one time in a group, and it was actually really fun. We went down, we got a path called the Tow Path in our metro parks here that goes along the Cuyahoga River. It's in northeast Ohio. And I'll show you, next time I go, I'll take some footage, because it's pretty cool. And I didn't have a light on my bike, but a couple of them had lights, and we trucked along at night, and you could see animals running across the road and shining eyes in the woods and stuff. So that was kind of neat. But it's this long path. It goes for miles and miles and miles. It's like several states, I think it extends, with some portions of road in between. But so anyway, I got the Night Rider. This is the Lumina 1000 Boost. So on the boost setting, which is the shortest run time, you're only supposed to use that when you really are in a tight spot and you need to see. It'll give you 1000 lumens, which is just a ton. On low setting, gives you 200 lumens, then 350 on the next one up, I believe. On low, on 200 lumens, which just not too many years ago was really bright flashlight, it gives you 6 hours of runtime. So it's USB chargeable. It's weatherproof or weather resistant. Part of the chassis is aluminum heatsink, so to take away the heat from the lamp. It's pretty cool. The one thing is it was kind of rattly, and I fixed that basically just with some electrical tape. I'll do a review of this light in a separate video, and I'll show you the fix on that. On the back, that came with a kit, so this is the Saber light from Knight Rider, the Saber 110, and it's plenty bright. That's just a safety thing for visibility at night. In Ohio, you have to have a light, a white light up front and a red light in the back if you're going to be riding within a half an hour of dusk, I think it is. I've actually been stopped before by a cop. Anyway, that's the status of the machine. The pedals are working good. The weather says it feels like 98 degrees out there today, so I'm taking a rest day. My legs are still torched from the other day, and my butt's still kind of a bruise because it's early in the season for me, so I don't have a lot of conditioning yet, but we're getting there. Each ride gets easier. So thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.